J'arrive, Konstantin. In this very special day, I want to share a memory with you. It's the memory of my first ever trip to Ireland many years ago. But more importantly, it is also the memory of how I met St. Patrick and of the wondrous deeds he performed. It was a gaily but sunny morning in North Wales. I was a student back then, and to be honest, I didn't know where my life was going. I had just arrived at the Holyhead Docks where the ferries for Dublin leave. Among the droves of other university students, a man stood apart. He was sporting a bishop's mitre, an oversized rugby t-shirt and jeans. I approached him, really just out of curiosity. He emanated this undefined charisma from every inch of his middle-aged body. Excuse me, is this a ferry for Dublin? Without averting his gaze from the cigarette he was rolling, he answered, "All means of transport lead to Jesus Christ." Yeah, I guess, but does this one lead to Dublin first? He finally raised his blue eyes and gave me a sideways but penetrating glance. He asked for a light, which I gave. "Are you lost, young man?" You mean if this is my first visit, or... "You are now under my wing," he declared out of nowhere, with his Hiberno-Cambrian accent I'm not going to try to replicate here. I didn't catch your name." "Padraig." At the other end of the jetty, the ticket collector was chatting up some girls, paying us no mind. So, Padraig, very nonchalantly, simply stepped over the chain blocking the gangway and went aboard to locate a good spot under the sun. I followed suit, and a while after the ferry lurched forward. Sadly, it didn't take long for the tickets man to find us. He looked sullen and upset, probably due to some fruitless flirting. "Hello, may I see your tickets, please?" "We don't need no tickets. We're envoys of the Lord." "If you can't show me valid tickets, I will have to inform the authorities, and you need to pay triple the fare. IDs, please. I'll have to write your names on my list," he threatened, tapping a thick clipboard with his finger. Much to his dismay, right at that moment, a mighty gust of wind blew the lighter from my hand. It exploded against the clipboard, setting it aflame. The man, of course, ran to the handrails and flung it as far as he could. Unluckily, an angry wave pounded the side of the boat, making him lose balance and sweeping him off the deck. I thought abandoning this poor soul adrift in the middle of the Irish Sea wasn't very nice. But before I voiced my concerns, my companion raised a hand. In the distance, a Dutch freighter appeared. After a couple of minutes, the castaway was spotted by its crew and safely rescued. Padraig proclaimed, "Na trí carja is far, agus na trí naifta is massa, tina, gui, is iska." He repeated as Berlin, "The three best friends and the three worst enemies, fire, wind, and water." It was then that the true identity and power of this stranger dawned on me. After a while, we moved downstairs, where the students were playing games and being loud. For some reason, it hadn't occurred to me to pack a light lunch for the 3-hour trip, and apparently the rest of the students weren't carrying any either. Around an hour into the voyage, they became restless and started wandering the ship hunting for edibles. Blood sugar levels were plummeting all around us. So the Saint and I decided to escape this craziness and visit the toilets. There, we found this girl hunching over a small bag of crisps. She seemed ready to do anything it took to protect her sustenance. Very slowly, St. Patrick removed his mitre and with a soft voice begged, "Could I have a crisp?" The girl looked dubious. "Just one." She selected the tiniest fragment and passed it to him, who dropped it in the hat. He gave the sign of the cross, as if blessing it, and then a number of crunchy things pushed their way upwards. Reaching in, he produced this full, wavy, golden crisp and deposited it in the girl's wide-open mouth. "Thank you for your potato sacrifice." Naturally, we went around the whole boat feeding passenger and member of staff alike our never-ending snacks. And there was a great rejoice among the populace. We eventually touched firm land, but what nobody was expecting was at least 10 Gardaí waiting at the dock. St. Patrick muttered, "They've come to take me back into slavery. Seek me, my son, and your real education will begin." "Wait, what are you talking about?" As the guards handcuffed him and read him his rights, he turned and winked at me. That was the last time I saw him. I spent weeks looking for him to no avail. And the police, of course, knew nothing of the incident or of the man himself. I gave up and went back to my aimless academic life. So, this was the story of how I failed St. Patrick and how I lost my only chance of a career in miracle working and probably not so petty crime. Gur mille mai a give, agus lále Padraig hána riamh.